Hey everyone, Mah-Dry-Bread here. Pokemon Red with only one Doduo was a fun return to Gen 1. Let's follow that up with a fun gimmick run. Today's the day that we figure out would I be able to beat Pokemon Gold with a team created by a random number generator. Pokemon always involves some RNG, but we're getting literal this time. I did this run once in Pokemon Red, and that was a fun time, so I think it's time to do it again. This time we get to use something cooler than just generating 6 random numbers, though. I found this website that generates random teams for Pokemon Stadium 2, so we're gonna use that. It's got some visuals. So I generated a team, and this is what we got. Execute, Charmander, Smoochum, Pinsir, Butterfree, and Wooper. This looks a lot less easy than what I used with the Gen 1 team, and it's got some pretty cool Pokemon on it. I'm gonna have to use the randomizer to start with Charmander, but outside of that, we can catch or breed all of these Pokemon. This should be pretty fun. Like always, I'm writing the script as I go through the challenge, so all this part is being written before I've started. Everyone comment down below and guess if I can win or not. I'm sure that we'll win, but this is all about seeing what parts are gonna be difficult when we have such a weird and lopsided team. Let's explain the rules. In combat, I can only use the Pokemon that I listed above from the number generator. Pre-evolutions are obviously fine. I'll need other Pokemon to use HMs, but I won't be allowed to use any of those Pokemon in battle. No glitches or exploits, no items in battle, only Pokeballs, held items, and items outside of combat are allowed. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more. Let's do this. So right off the bat, I use the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to replace Cyndaquil with Charmander so that we can do the whole run with it. But that's only to get a Charmander since we can't get it otherwise. We can go catch the other Pokemon pretty much right away. We do need to take a moment, though, to look at Charmander's Gen 2 sprite, because I absolutely love it. I can't put my finger on why, but this might be my favorite Charmander sprite I've ever seen. It's adorable for a weird fish. Anyway, as soon as I got walking, we ran into Caterpie, so I catch one. Obviously, we're allowed to use it until we evolve it into Butterfree, and thankfully, that happens at level 10, so we can easily evolve it before we hit the Flying Gym. It's a pretty weak Pokemon, and I doubt it's going to be useful, but who knows? It gets a lot better in Gen 3, but in Gen 2 it's nothing special. Maybe it could be decent in the Ghost Gym later, just because it has Confusion. Let's go beat that Flying Gym so that we can get a new Pokemon. Alright, so first up is Pidgey, but we just two-shot with Butterfree's Confusion, while it was using Tackle on us, so no problem. The Pidgeotto took out Butterfree pretty quickly with Gust, but we actually did great damage with the first couple of hits. Once we fainted, Charmander easily finished it off. I figure we aren't in any danger there since his team is just so low leveled. Right after the fight, I went ahead and caught a Wooper. Now for as much as I love this Pokemon, it is horrible in this game. Incredibly low stats that are way less than that of a first form starter. And literally the only good level up move it gets is Earthquake. Considering it's both slow and frail, I doubt we're gonna get any serious use out of it most of the run, although it is still good against electric types. Who knows, maybe it'll end up being useful in the Steel Gym. I figure it's at least gotta be good against the Magnemites. Now we have the Bug Gym and the rival fight between us and getting some more exciting members of our team. Let's go breeze through those real quick. Well, as expected, the Bug Gym was crazy easy. His only good move on his team is Fury Cutter, and we're Fire type, so it did almost nothing to us, and we took out his whole team with Ember. After that is our rival, and right away the Ghastly goes down pretty quickly to our underleveled Butterfree. He just couldn't hit us very hard, and we didn't get paralyzed off Lick. Not only that, but the Zubat right after was missing Supersonic, when he probably should have just been spamming Bite. We got it to faint pretty quickly. Last is Croconaw, so I had our Charmander use Smokescreen twice, as it was just using Leer on us. Then we used Ember and burned him pretty quickly, so we were doing damage over time. Neither our Ember or Scratch were doing very much damage, but thanks to the burn damage and him missing moves due to Smokescreen, we still won pretty safely on the first try. Hey, it's time for 2 new Pokemon. First, I get the Headbutt TM and headbutt a bunch of trees in the forest until we get Execute. I know it's a really weird Pokemon, but it's actually one of my favorites. It's not amazing in this game, but it does get the effect Spore moves plus Leech Seed. Between that and its high defense, it could be a great Pokemon to send in against difficult opponents, so that we can weaken them with effects so that the rest of our team can take them out. Next, I had to enter the bug catching contest to get our hands on Pinsir. I absolutely love this one. Yeah, it's kind of like a less useful Heracross, but I still love it. It's just a crazy high attack bug Pokemon. And it's pretty tanky too. Its moveset is really underwhelming in this game, but at level 43 it learns Swords Dance. I could probably sweep a lot of Pokemon in this run if we just use Swords Dance and Strength. so I figure that's what we're going to be doing later on. I can't exactly see what his IVs are, but from punching it in on an online calculator, it looks like it's pretty good overall. Although the health IVs are horrible, somewhere between 0 and 2 out of 15. That's fine though, we're gonna have a full team, and I don't want to rely on Pinsir for everything anyway. Oh, and because I know that some of you are curious, Pinsir did indeed win us the first place prize of the bug catching contest. In fairness, I seem to remember hearing that if you catch Pinsir or Scyther, then you always win first place. Also, the Sunstone isn't useful to us, but hey, it's still pretty cool. Let's go test out our new Pokemon on the normal gym. So obviously the Clefairy at the start doesn't stand a chance against Pinsir, but after that is Miltank with her high speed, rollout, milk drink, and stomps. It can be pretty tough if you're not over-leveling one Pokemon to deal with it. Pinsir didn't last long, but I was able to put it to sleep with Execute, set up Reflect, and then switch to Charmander. Then I used a few smoke screens, so I know that she couldn't build up another rollout. After that, I kept spamming Ember. We ended up burning her for some great damage over time, and although the Embers themselves weren't doing great damage, we crit to get the knockout after not too long. It was an easy fight. Alright, I really don't feel like we're ready for most of the Ghost Gym yet, so I decided to do some traveling early to fight trainers and level up. We got most of our team really early, but we can't actually get our last Pokemon until right before the Dragon Gym. Between here and there are 4 gym battles that are all within a very short distance from each other, and a rival fight in the Radio Tower basement. The Ghost Gym is the first fight, but we can do the other gyms in any order that we want. And I figure that the Ghost Gym might be hard, since our only Pokemon with Psychic moves aren't very strong. I figure that Butterfree is going to do a better job, since it's not weak to Ghosts like Execute is. But no matter what, I think it's going to be a fight where we just throw everything at them and hope we win. Getting Surf on Wooper first will probably be important. The Fighting Gym might not be too bad because of our Psychic moves and our Bug-type Pinsir, and the Ice Gym is rarely an issue in a Gen 2 run. The Steel Gym could be pretty hard, but who knows. If I level up Wooper to level 31 so that we get Earthquake, then maybe it really won't be too horrible. Plus, I could always Leech Seed the Steelix to help whittle it down. I'm gonna fight a ton of trainers, then give that Ghost Gym a try. Wish me luck. Also, speaking of good luck, I found a shiny female Nidoran right before I started traveling. It's just gonna sit in the PC forever on a save file that I'm never gonna open again after this week, but hey, looks kinda cool. Looks bubblegum flavored. Alright, this Ghost Gym was crazy. So first is Ghastly, who just used Curse to lose half his health, then lost the other half to one Surf. Easy start. Second is Haunter, so I switched to Butterfree to spam Confusion. We took some damage from Nightshade, but thanks to Hypnosis missing, we easily got a 2-shot. Third is the real threat, Gengar. I stayed in to hit Stun Spore and Confusion for a bit of damage, but we got 2-shot by Shadow Ball, so I sent in Charmander next. I instantly crit Ember for decent damage, but we got put to sleep and he got us with Dream Eater to heal back up. But then next turn, we woke up and crit again to get rid of the health that he stole. We hit another Ember, he was fully paralyzed, then we finished him off. Last is his final Haunter, so I switched to Execute and Leech Seeded him right away as he hit Nightshade. Next turn, he wasted time with Mean Look, so we hit Confusion for solid damage. Then we finished him off after his next Nightshade. That went pretty well. Next is the Fighting Gym, and right away Pinsir and Primeape faced off. It's not even close though, we totally destroyed him. Poliwrath on the other hand is way more dangerous. Surf is hitting our team incredibly hard. Pinsir got him to half health before he fainted, so I sent in Execute to Leech Seed him. We got 2-shot, and I sent in Wooper, but he went down in 1 hit. After that, I sent in Butterfree, who almost went down in 1 hit, but we put him to sleep with Sleep Powder and then started using Confusion as he used a full heal. We nearly fainted, but thanks to the Leech Seed damage, we got the knockout. I know we're not ready for the Steel Gym until Wooper learns Earthquake at level 31, though, so I'm gonna go do the Rocket Hideout for levels. And we may as well fight the Ice Gym while we're in town as well. So I go to the Ice Gym, and this is not at all what I was expecting. Pinsir did a great job of taking out Seal at the start, and Dugong right after managed to hit us a few times for decent damage before he fainted as well. Last is Piloswine though, and is actually really tough. Because of an attack drop, Pinsir didn't hit us very hard, and we fainted to Blizzard. I sent in Charmander and was doing solid damage, but he used a Hyper Potion to heal back up, and he actually took us out before we could get his health back down. The rest of our team was pretty underleveled, so he mostly swept us with Blizzard. That's right, I lost to the Ice Gym in Gen 2. Alright, I think I'll grind Charmander up to 31, and then we'll have Flamethrower, and this shouldn't be a problem anymore. Alright, so I get Flamethrower and try the fight again. I mean, we win pretty easily now, but thanks to a critical strength, we probably didn't even need Flamethrower. I probably could have thrown my whole team at it and still won in the end, but hey, I'm not complaining. Now let's get one more level on Wooper and see how the Steel Gym goes. Alright, Steel Gym. Right away, Wooper takes a Sonic Boom, then we one-shot Magnemite, but second is Steelix, and I had an awful time. We did a little damage right away with Wooper, but I switched as he used Sunny Day. Now if I was smart, I would have switched into Charmander to use Flamethrower, but instead I put Butterfree in, who got one-shot with a critical Iron Tail. Then I sent an Execute, who also got one-shot by Iron Tail. I put Wooper back in to use Surf, but naturally did almost nothing because of the sun. We fainted, and I finally realized, oh, I should obviously be using Charmander, but that's the turn the Sunlight faded. It didn't matter, we still did enough damage to take him out. Last is Magnemite, but we're faster, and we one-shot him. I mean, it was still a first try, but I absolutely would have won faster if I had used Charmander the moment she used Sunny Day. That would have been so much smarter. Last for this boss rush is our rival, and he opens with Golbat. I had Pinsir two-shot it, although its wing attack did decent damage to us. Second is Magnemite, who goes down pretty easily to Earthquake from Wooper, and third is Sneasel, but it's really weak in this game, so I had Pinsir two-shot it. All it did was miss Screech. Haunter was next, and it ruined its own health with Curse, so Butterfree hit Confusion. Now, we're so weak that we didn't take it out, so we almost fainted to Curse and Shadow Ball damage, but we took it out on the next round. Last is Feraligatr, so I tried using Execute, but it's so massively underleveled that it got one-shot, so I had to overpower it with Pinsir instead. Hey, it's finally time to get our last Pokemon. It's not a fast one to get, though. So next we have to get Smoochum, but that's an egg Pokemon in this game. So I had to catch Jinx in the Icy Path, then breed it with a Ditto to get an egg, then I just rode around until it hatched. It can't learn any good egg moves in this game, so I figured that Ditto was a safe pick. Now you might wonder if Smoochum is gonna be useless because it's a baby Pokemon, but it actually is gonna have the best special attack of the whole team. It might be a baby, but it is still pretty impressive, and I'm not just talking about the incredible sprite. Its defense is almost nothing, and its health isn't good either, but if I give it Ice Punch and get it to level 37 to teach it Psychic, it could be a great glass cannon. I think this is gonna save us in the Lance fight. I'm gonna have to do a very serious grind soon, though, because we have the Dragon Gym coming up, and having this thing at a high level will be important for sweeping the Dragonairs at the start, so that we don't get paralyzed. There is a chance that Thunder Wave can miss in this game. It has 100 accuracy, but in Gen 2, all of your opponents have a built-in miss chance on all of their status affliction moves. I want to say it's 25% chance that misses. Then after that, there's one rival fight, and we can go do the Elite Four. Let's go. Alright, so I got to the Dragon Gym and instantly Smoochum gets outsped in one shot, but Pinsir was able to take out the first Dragonair after getting hit by only one Surf. Still not thrilled about this start. The second one thankfully misses its Thunder Wave and goes down in 2 hits, and for the third one, we tank an Ice Beam, but it doesn't really hurt us much, so we overpower it as well. Last is the real threat though, Kingdra. We did a decent chunk of damage, but quickly went down to Surf, so I sent an Execute to Stun Spore it, and then Leech Seed it, while it was missing Smokescreen and being fully paralyzed. I then set up Reflect and hit a weak Confusion before we fainted to 2 hits of Dragon Breath. All the rest of our team is pretty weak, but between Wooper's Earthquake and the Leech Seed damage, she actually fainted. It was a pretty easy first try. After that is our rival, and right away Sneasel is nearly a one-shot with Strength, but it hits Screech and Quick Attack. Knowing our defense is down and Golbat is coming out, we had to switch to Charmander. We got confused right away, but we hit Flamethrower for some decent damage. Next round though, and we got crit by Wing Attack to faint. I tried sending in Smoochum, but it got one-shot too, so it was back out to Pinsir. We hit Strength, left it with a Sliver, took some decent damage from Wing Attack, then I finished it off. Next is Magneton, but it obviously can't do much to Wooper, so we took it out easily, and I sent Pinsir back into one-shot Kadabra with Strength. Back out to Wooper to deal with Haunter, and between it using Curse and us using Earthquake, it went down on the first round. Last is Feraligatr, so I had Execute Leech Seed it, then paralyze it early. After that, we just kept using Confusion until it eventually fainted. Not a bad fight. Now that we're at the Elite Four, let's take a look at our team. Man, I'm not sure what to think. It's just such a weird team. Our type coverage is not amazing, we're not great with a lot of the moves that we do have, and more than anything, we are such a low level. The Elite Four's team starts at level 40 and uses fully evolved Pokemon, so I think what I'm going to have to do is candy the team up to level 38 as the new minimum, then start making attempts. I figure that we won't get anywhere close to beating the Elite Four until the team is somewhere in the 60s, but who knows. Make your final guesses on if we can win this or not. Let's do this. First up is Psychic Trainer Will. He sends out Xatu, so I had Smoochum use Ice Punch for great damage, but his quick attacks hurt us so much that we actually fainted after 2 hits and had to send in Pinsir to finish it off. The second Xatu is next, but all it did was confuse us and we didn't hit ourselves, so we got a 2-shot. Third is Jinx, so I sent in Charmander to use Flamethrower, but we ended up getting 1-shot first, so I had to send Pinsir back in to nearly 1-shot it. It just missed Lovely Kiss, so we took it out on the next round. Fourth is Slowbro, so I had to execute Leech Seed it and put it to sleep, then switch back to Pinsir to easily finish it off with a few hits of strength. Last is Executor though, and this thing was brutal. First, we did good damage with Pinsir, but it took us out after 2 hits of Psychic. I had Butterfree fully paralyze it, and I knew Psybeam wouldn't hurt it much, so I used Supersonic twice, but we missed both times. I should have just been using Psybeam. We hit it once, but it didn't do much damage. I sent in Wooper next and got him to a sliver with Earthquake before we fainted in 1 hit. Last on our team is our Execute, but we did just enough damage to take it out with Confusion. I don't like how close that was. Second is Poison Trainer Koga. Right away, Ariados just uses Double Team, then gets 2 shots, so it's not a problem. After that is Venomoth, who we crit for a 1-shot, so this is starting pretty great. We level up, learn Swords Dance, then switch as Crobat comes out. Now, I know that is going to be a mess no matter what, so I tried Sleep Powder with Execute, and it actually worked. He got a Double Team in first, though, then he full restored to wake up as we Leech Seeded him. He hit Toxic, we put him back to sleep, he used a full heal, and that's when I realized that Confusion is actually doing really good damage. I switched out to Wooper, though, since I didn't want to take a whole lot of poison damage. We actually nearly took him out with Surf as he used Toxic, but we survived the next round, so Leech Seed damage finished him off. Next is Fortress, so I sent in Charmander to take him out with Flamethrower, and last is Muck, so I had to send Pinsir in to overpower it with Strength. His Acid Armor protected him, and he hit Toxic, but Seismic Toss was able to bypass the defense boost to take him out. Third is Fighting Trainer Bruno. This was really easy, though. His Hitmontop at the start could hardly hurt us, and we learned Swords Dance in the previous fight, so I just built up 3 and swept his team no problem. I think Karen could be hard, though. Fourth is Dark Trainer Karen. First up is Umbreon, so I used 1 Swords Dance, missed Sword Attack, I must have meant Sand Attack, and we hit Strength for great damage. He got us with Feint Attack on the second turn, but we took him out on the next round. Next is Houndoom, so I stayed in and hit Strength for a 1-shot. I'm pretty sure that Swords Dance was required for that, and it's a good thing that it worked, because I bet that Houndoom could have swept most of our team. Next is Vileplume, who was nearly a 1-shot. It missed Stun Spore, then we took it out. Great start is over, though, as Gengar comes out. I tried using Seismic Toss to see if it would work in this gen, but it didn't. That was a Gen 1 thing. So I had to switch into Execute to see if we could Sleep and Leech Seed it. Before we could do anything, though, he used Curse, so we switched again, this time to Butterfree. We got paralyzed by Lick right away, but we paralyzed her in return with our Stun Spore. Then we spammed Psybeam. All she was using was Lick, so we survived despite being fully paralyzed quite a lot. Eventually she fainted and last is Murkrow, but this thing is a beast. It started sweeping a lot of our team one by one, with us occasionally having a Pokemon that could survive 1 hit and do a little bit of damage. I knew that Pinsir might have been faster, but I wasn't sure. I needed to make sure that we could take Murkrow out in 1 strength, just in case we could survive only 1 round. Thankfully, Charmander was able to survive a hit to soften up Murkrow, so by the time Pinsir came in, we got our knockout with 1 use of Strength. That may have been a win, but I think we are way too low of a level for Lance at this point. Finally, Pokemon Champion Lance. Well, it opens with Water Onix and 1 Swords Dance gets us just strong enough to drop it to a sliver off Strength. It uses Rain Dance and Surf for decent damage on us too. We take it out on the next round, but then an Aerodactyl comes out that outspeeds and sweeps literally our entire team. I mean, we're really underleveled at this point, so I kinda saw this coming. It's cool that we got through the Elite Four at the level that we did, but I need to catch up to his team in levels if we're gonna win this fight. And I really mean it. I mean, he's loaded with Dragonites. So I got the team up 4 levels to level 42 as our new minimum, but man, it hardly helped at all. Water Onyx went the same, and although Wooper can survive 1 extra hit and do some damage with Surf, we only took out Aerodactyl because it got confused off Confusion and hit itself later. We still went down easily on the first try to Dragonite. We only hit it once because it used Hyper Beam when it probably didn't need to and gave us an opening, but Ice Punch wasn't a one-shot, so it didn't matter. Yeah, we're probably going to need to be level 50 before we can win this one. Man, this is brutal. I got the whole team up to level 48 and tried a couple times, but we still don't one-shot Water Onyx. We're able to beat Aerodactyl sometimes if he uses Hyper Beam on the first turn, but Dragonite just totally destroys us. On the first lucky run, we managed to make it faint, but the Charizard right after swept most of our team. We got a lucky feint on it on our best run, but all we had left was a burnt Butterfree with a sliver of health, so of course we weren't actually close to winning that fight. I really don't think I'm gonna win this until Smoochum is faster than the Dragonites. So I get the team up to level 52, and although everything goes pretty much the exact same, we had this funny moment where we made the second from last Dragonite faint. No, not because of a crit. No, not because I'm just awesome at Pokemon. It's because he missed Blizzard 4 times in a row, then we survived the 5th one. I mean, we still very easily faint to the last Dragonite, but that was crazy. Like, what are even the odds of that? Is that more or less rare than... I had a moment on my Nuzlocke streams recently where we hit ourselves in Confusion 3 times in Fire Red, and then my next Pokemon got Confuse Raid and hit himself in Confusion 3 times in a row again. I think chat said that was like a 3% chance of happening or a 1.5% chance of happening. I forget which. Alright, I have no words to explain how this fight went. This is one of the craziest and dumbest Lance fights I have ever had. Water Onyx and Aerodactyl were easy, as they have been, but Dragonite is still a problem because he one-shot Smoochum. But we landed tons of flinches with Charmander's headbutts, so it had low enough health to easily finish it off with Pinsir. For Charizard, we hit a huge strength with Pinsir, we fainted, sent in Wooper, and it survived with 1 health to get the knockout. I did not see that coming. The second from last Dragonite finished off Wooper right away, so I sent in Butterfree, but we confused him with Psybeam and he hit himself twice, then missed Hyper Beam, so we took him out without getting hurt. Then on the last Dragonite, we missed Stun Spore twice, hit it on the 3rd round, fainted, then sent in our last Pokemon, Execute. We Leech Seeded him right away, then started using Confusion, so he got confused and was hitting himself. I thought I was gonna win, but he full restored, so I put him to sleep, and he woke himself up with a full heal. I decided to just keep going for Confusion, just for us to get nailed with Fire Blast, and it took us from full health to literally 1 health on the same turn that we finished him off. I am baffled. I was just speeding my way through this fight because I figured there was absolutely no way I was gonna win, just for 2 Pokemon to survive with only 1 health at different points, getting us the win. That was insane. If any of the footage looks weird and choppy with this one, it's because I had turbo mode on for a bunch of it and I gotta slow it down in editing. I thought I was doomed. With that victory, we get in the Hall of Fame and win the run, but you know it's not over yet. Gen 2 has all of Kanto in the post-game, including 8 gym battles. That meow was so loud it was probably audible on the microphone. Gen 2 has all of Kanto in the post-game, including 8 gym battles and a secret final boss fight with Red. 7 of those 8 gym battles are super easy since they're weaker than the Elite Four, so we're gonna skip ahead to the next real challenge, Blue. Obviously, I grabbed both leftovers on my way through Kanto, as well as the focus band from the dojo. I figure those are the best held items that I can find right now. Alright, time for Blue. Right away, Pidgeot was a 2-shot with Strength, as it hits a pretty weak wing attack considering we're Bug-type. Rhydon is second, so I sent in Wooper to use Surf. We took a weak Fury attack first, then got the 1-shot, so this is going great. Executor is next, so I just kept using Flamethrower. It was going great, but he Leech Seeded us and used a full restore when his health was low. He just kept healing up with those full restores, but we weren't taking much damage from Leech Seed, so I guess it was just a good way to waste his healing items. Eventually, we made him faint. Water Onyx is next, so I just had Pinsir overpower it with Strength as he made it rain. The second hit crit to make it faint, so that went great. Second from last is Arcanine, so I sent in Wooper. We took advantage of the rain to hit a powered-up Surf, but we still went down in 2 hits to extreme speed, thanks to just how weak we are. But I easily finished it off with 1 hit from Strength from Pinsir. Last is Alakazam, but we just outsped it and one-shot it with Strength for a pretty solid win. Alright, well as expected, we aren't ready for Red. We can take out Pikachu pretty easily since it can't do much to Wooper, but second is Venusaur and it's using Solar Beam, and despite our Charmander hitting it pretty hard, it wasn't a one-shot and we took crazy damage from the Solar Beam. We held on and finished it off, but next is Espeon, and it was sweeping the whole team. In fact, the only reason we made it faint is through the insane luck of Smoochum surviving a hit with Focus Band, then freezing it with Ice Punch, but obviously we were outsped and one-shot by Charizard right after. I'm gonna get the team up to level 65. That way we're closer to theirs in level. So I get up to level 65 and try more. Pikachu goes down incredibly fast this time, and Venusaur still goes pretty much the same, although we landed with more health. We still had to throw pretty much our whole team at Espeon just to slowly take it out with stuff like Leech Seed, and even then, we only took it out because we paralyzed it while whittling it down with attacks from each party member before they got hit and fainted. Charizard still easily finished us all off. I just don't see how I'm gonna make any serious progress until we're faster than most of his team. So I get the team all the way up to level 72, and although things go a little bit better sometimes if I paralyze the Espeon with Butterfree early, the extra healthy team doesn't help us beat Charizard. It's just way too fast and powerful for most of our team to handle. A lot of our team is weak to Fire type, and our poor little Wooper just doesn't get hit that hard. On this run it didn't survive to the part with Charizard, but even when it does, it doesn't go any better. I think it's time we finally get to above them in level. Alright, level 78. Right away we paralyzed Espeon and started hitting Psybeams. Obviously we can't finish it off, but we ended up doing a lot more damage than I was expecting, and was able to have Pinsir finish it off without getting hit once Butterfree fainted. Next is the usual Nightmare Charizard fight, but it misses Fire Spin instantly on Wooper, so we got a free hit. Our second Surf almost took it out, as it hit a couple flamethrowers to make us faint, but now Pinsir is faster and was able to finish it off. That's our first time taking out Charizard. Snorlax is next, and I knew it could be hard, so I sent an Execute to put it to sleep and Leech Seed it. It worked great, because between our high defense and the massive amount of health that we heal off Leech Seeding such a high health Pokemon, his snores could hardly hurt us. Even when he crit, we were fine. We ended up taking him out just with Execute. Last is Blastoise, so I stayed in to put him to sleep and seed him as well. I figured that I would just use this as a setup for Pinsir to finish him off, but I used Confusion anyway, just to start getting some damage in early. He got us with Blizzard when he woke up to do so much damage that we only had 3 health left, but the Leech Seed and Confusion damage had built up so much that he fainted right after. That was actually a really clean win in the end. That's another RNG run done, and it was once again pretty fun. I gotta do this in Pokemon Emerald soon for sure. I really hope you guys like that run. The next Pokemon Challenge should be up next week on Saturday, like usual, with Pokemon Heart Gold, with only 1 Shedinja. Yes, I am doing another Shedinja run already. By popular demand, everyone seemed to really enjoy the previous one, and I'm pretty certain this is possible? I don't know. I don't want to say for sure. As always, I'm looking at your suggestions in the comments, in the challenge request section of my Discord channel, and on Twitter. Subscribe, ring the bell, stay tuned. Outro time. I wish I had a ton of time to ramble forever like I usually do, but it is 4:30 p.m. and I have not eaten because I have been super in work mode and have forgotten that food exists. Sorry, it's so much to do. Tax season, so I've been getting all that in order, and then there's just a bunch of stuff on the channel, and I'm editing Pokemon Ultra Moon, and I've been doing the Nuzlocke streams, and it's just been a lot of extra stuff to do this month. The $50 supporter shoutout tier, though, I have finally gone through and finally taken off the names of the people who don't have the shoutout tier thing anymore. I know I was supposed to do that forever ago, but I kind of felt like it would just be the nice thing to do to leave them on longer, give it a longer grace period, you know? Still, thank you to everyone who's not on the list anymore. It's very much appreciated. But for the people who are currently on the list, thank you so much, Jacob Busby, Javid Kusaro, Grayson Fitz, Tara Louise, Dark Soul, Young Smoky VP, Gabriel Thornton, Hernandez Punchdick, and the -1. Thank you so much for your continued support. It's very much appreciated. Now, I need to go cook something up to eat, and then wolf down that food because I gotta get editing this video so fast. I got WrestleMania this weekend, and so I really want to get this stuff done before then. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and until next time, have a nice day.